Thank you. Yes, I want to introduce Kevin Parker, who is an additional Senate member and an honorary woman, along with John Sampson. I also want to recognize that we've also been joined by Diane Patterson, Vice President of Family Planning Advocates, and Carol Blowers of Family Advocates, who do such amazing work on behalf of women in reproductive health and contraception. So yes, there's not a huge number of women legislators here because there's not a huge number of women legislators, period. So part of our challenge is making sure that we have equal representation at the table. Because right now, as John Sampson just said, when it comes to issues that seem to be of the greatest importance to women, not only do we not get the kind of legislation we need passed in the state capitol and in the state, we actually find ourselves every morning waking up to some new story that seems to play off the theme of an attack on women and women's rights. The war on women is a term you've all heard because there really does seem to be a war on women. And as a state senator in the great state of New York, in honest truth, I'm horrified that people think it is okay to attack equal rights for women. People think it is okay to challenge our rights to reproductive health, our rights to equal treatment in the workplace and in our homes. So the first of the three forums that the Senate Democrats are inviting everyone to attend, we'll be inviting all, or we have already invited all 62 senators to come and talk about economic issues for women in the workplace. We still cannot get passed in this legislature pay equity laws to require that women and men get paid the same amount for the same jobs. It is still true that women earn 73 to 77 cents on every dollar men earn in the same positions. And in fact, if you were an African or American or Latino woman, the statistics are much, much worse. It is true that in New York State, there is no law saying there should be accommodations for women who are pregnant in the workforce. Well, only 50% of the population has the ability to be giving birth to the next generation, and a huge percentage of us women are in the workplace, and the fact that we don't recognize that accommodations need to be made so that women can be the parents of the next generation and can keep their jobs with dignity is a critical issue for the state of New York. The fact that we don't even seem to want to talk about the importance of making sure that there is equality in the workforce and in the economy for women is enormously disturbing to me. We held a forum on minimum wage a few weeks back, and one thing that seems to have escaped the attention of too many people who don't seem to understand the importance of having a fair minimum wage is that the vast majority of minimum wage workers are women. So maybe if there weren't all women in these jobs, we would get more serious attention to living wages. So these are just three examples of why we need to be taking a much harder, more serious look and make a commitment in the state to do what needs to be done for women in the workforce, because it affects us all. It affects women, it affects children, it affects their husbands, it affects elderly parents who they're also trying to balance taking care of. The concept that there is not pay for the need to be absent from work, that there is still not in New York State a model for recognizing that there are family needs and family leave reasons to have a paid model is just another one of the economic issues that overlap so many of the other issues we'll be focusing on in our forums. And now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who's going to talk about one of the other forums we're having.